Hi, so today we're going to be learning the viola. So the first thing we're going to do is take it out of the case. So if you want to unzip it, the zipper's on this side. Exactly. So we are first going to take out the instrument. In cases in which it is a soft case, especially for cello and string bass, you're going to want to take this out first, the bow, but this case it's safe to leave it in while you take the instrument out, so go ahead and undo that. Yep. And you could just pull it out. It's a little tight in there, keep it safe. Alright, and then we'll go to the bow in a second, but if you want to open this. So this part of the case is where you're going to keep your rosin. This is for cleaning it afterwards, but we're going to grab this. So this is for your shoulder so that you can hold it in there. So I'm going to show you, it's going to, yes, your left shoulder, so you aren't wanting to move your hair. So if you want to pick up the instrument, turn it over. So this is a little tricky to put on, so I'm going to show you how to do it first. So you see these things? You want like this little pocket part to be facing inward, inward on both sides, and then if you, so hold it up because we don't want to put the bridge, which I will show you, on any pressure, so it's hard to do, but you kind of line it up like this, and then you push it on. You see what I mean? Oh, do you want to try it yourself?
Sure.
Okay.
But I can't put it down.
You can hold it with one hand over here. If you can't, I can hold it for you, but let's... Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of just sliding it over. You almost got it. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the different parts of it. So if you want to flip it over again. So first we have up here the scroll. Then we have the peg box. We have the pegs. So what's this?
The scroll.
What is this?
The peg box.
What is this?
Peg.
All right. And then right in here, this is the nut. What is that?
The nut.
The nut. Okay, this is the neck.
The neck.
And this is the fingerboard. So there's a difference between the neck and the fingerboard. Does that make sense? Obviously, these are the strings. Then down here we have the bridge. So if you look at it, it's being held down by those strings, which is why we want to be extra careful with it, because basically the instrument is being held together by a lot of tension. The same thing will go with the bow once I show you that. So we always want to be very careful with the bridge because sometimes it gets kind of knocked over. So right here are the fine tuners. This is the F hole, see, because it's kind of shaped like an F. This is the C bout. So do you remember what this thing is?
The neck.
Yes, you remember what this is?
Fingerboard.
Yes, and these?
Strings.
What is this?
Bridge.
What is this?
This is the F hole.
F hole.
Is that the same? Oh, this is the C
bout.
Bout.
C bout. Yes. Amazing. So this is your chin rest. And then this is your shoulder rest, the one you just put on. You know the difference because this one is where your chin goes and this one's where your shoulder goes. Otherwise it's upside down and it'd be hard to play. So what we got? We got the tailpiece. And then on other instruments there's more parts, but you don't need to worry about that with viola. So next I'm just going to show you the parts to the bow. So in this particular case, all you have to do is turn it like this, and then it comes out like that. Okay, so this is the tip. So just like the bridge is a very fragile part, the tip is a very fragile part of the bow, so you also want to be careful with that. This is the stick. It looks like a stick, so it's a stick. This is the hair, because if you see, it's not just one solid piece, it's a bunch of little small hairs. This is the frog. So here. This is the adjusting screw. All right, so I'm going to make sure you have proper seating position. So scoot more towards the end of your chair. All right, and your feet kind of like flat in front of you. Okay, yep. Back straight up. It should be comfortable, but not too comfortable. You know, you're not sitting in an armchair. So for holding the viola, so you're gonna have your chin here and your shoulder there. Can you try that? And it should feel kind of comfortable, and you should be able to put your left hand down and still be holding it. Yeah, it doesn't feel steady, so you might want to move this a little farther back. I don't know how comfortable it is, but it should, yeah. Does that feel like you can hold it there?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I wouldn't want to, but I can.
Yes, okay, wonderful. And now can you stand up, maintaining it like that?
Like this?
Yes. Yes. You pull up a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Can you let go of your left hand? Yay, good job. Okay. Go ahead and sit down, but maintaining that posture. Yeah, all right. So now we are going to show you the strings of the viola. Okay, so this one on the right is the A string. This is the D string. This is the hold on. I'm having a brain mishap. Yes, sorry, I was right. A string, D string, G string, and C string.
A, D, G, C.
Yes, A, D, G, C. Wonderful. So, next up, we are going to play it just a little bit. So, can you go ahead and put it back up in your neck? Wonderful. And you can have it like facing out a little bit. Can I see it for just a second? I need to feel it to know what I'm talking about. So you see how I'm holding it?
Mm-hmm.
It should be just kind of like that, like kind of out of your left shoulder. And it's just your chin, it's not your cheek. Yeah. Okay, so so we're gonna do a little bit of pizzicato. So you're gonna take your right hand, and about right here, you are going to put your thumb like on the, like this. Yeah, a little further down, and just use your finger. Yeah, okay, so can you pizzicato the C string? Can you pizzicato the G string, the A string, and the D string? Perfect, and we're gonna do it just for a little bit of practice. We're gonna do each note 4 times. So I'll say, for example, C string, ready, go. C, okay? So G string, ready, go. A string, ready, go. D string, ready, go.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's a little hard.
That was, I did the D instead.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I want to see if you catch your mistake, which you did. Awesome. So, can you play just one time the A string, D, C? Are you sure about that?
A, D, G, C.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so sounds good. So, next up, very exciting, we're going to learn how to play the D major scale. So if you had to guess, what string do you think the D major scale would start on?
D.
Yeah, so can you show me which one that is? Yeah, so when you play a note and you don't have to put any of your left hand fingers down, and make sure you're still sitting up straight if you can, that is called an open string. So these are all open strings, so there's a difference between this and then, right? So open strings are going to be naturally louder, and they're going to sound better because you don't have to worry about tuning because it's already tuned down here, the fine tuners. Can you just play open D for me, pizzicato 4 times? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay. And so now we are going to learn a new note. We're going to learn G, but not on here. It's going to be on the D string. It's a little confusing. Okay, so you're going to take your left hand, and you're gonna have your thumb about up here, and kind of scoop your fingers over like this, so they're not laying flat, or else it'll be hard to play the notes. So you see this red line. I know it's hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
A little further down, towards you, a little up. There you go. And you're gonna hold all your fingers down. Right, awesome. But you're gonna do it on the D string. Sorry. Yeah. And so that should be a G. So can you pizzicato G on the D string? And to just make sure the tuning's right, can you play the G string? Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, sorry, I was doing some mental things. So, can you play 4 Ds and then 4 Gs? And I will give you 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, really good. Okay, so just remember that hand position because it's not going to change too much. Is that not comfortable?
No, I knocked it.
Okay. Perfect. So we're going to learn a new note. So can you go back to that G hand position on the D string? You're going to pull it down a little bit more and make sure your thumb's kind of like up there. Not on top, but just a little bit peeking over. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, is it uncomfortable?
I am not used to that, holding myself this way, so yeah, it's a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. So we're gonna learn. So you remember that hand position for G. So all you're gonna do is keep just this first finger down and lift the other ones up, and that is E. So can you play 4 times? E, 2, ready, go. So E is going to come right after D. So we're going to play D 4 times, then E 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So do you remember what D is? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So just D and then E. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that sound a little high to you?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I was supposed to go to G.
No, you're just going to E, right? So D and then E is just this first line right here. Just one finger down is E. So D, 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 E, 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 E.
So it's just...
Yeah, can you just play D? Just once? Play D. And then E. Yeah. And just move this a little farther up. I know it's hard to see the red line, but that's where your fingers are always going to start. So that's the only difference is D, 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 E, 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 E.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. D, 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 E, 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 E. Yeah, exactly. So now can you put down your middle finger? It doesn't have to be right next, a little bit of space, just a little bit though. And that is going to be F sharp, because there are 2 sharps in D major, and F sharp is the first one. So can you just play F sharp for me? Oh, excuse me. Can I see it real quick? Sorry, I need to. So we had, judging on my fingers, what do you think this is?
D.
What is this?
E.
And
F sharp.
I think it's. That's G. Sorry. So just 2 fingers. You see this little space there? That is F sharp. So D, E, F sharp, G.
Okay.
So you're not using that pinky. It's just those first. That would be a problem, huh? Okay. I'll just attach it for you. It's hard to do in your room. It Bailey doesn't start barking. Can you hold it for me? Make it easier, since I don't have my lap. Goodness. Wow. Easy. That's backwards. That will do it. Okay. So flip it over again, put it in your shoulder, like you're playing. So can you just play that D for me? And then E. And remember, don't keep your hand flat, keep it kind of curved and open. So lower your wrist a little bit. If you can, yeah, that's a little better. So D and then E. Yeah, and move your finger a little farther down. I know it's hard for you to tell. Eventually, when you're playing, you will develop the ears to hear if it's in tune. Yeah, and we're not, it's very good. Move this finger just a little bit down. And can you do what you just did again? Yeah. And move this finger just a little bit down as well. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna have you do what you just did, which was wonderful, but in time. So I'm gonna give you each note. You're gonna play 4 times. D, 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 E, 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 and so on. Okay? And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wasn't.
That's okay. And can you show me the proper position for pizzicato with your right hand? Where should your right hand be? So your thumb is going to be right here, like this. So, there you go.
Underneath.
Yeah. Kind of like on the edge. You're doing great. So, we're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very, very good. Okay, so the next part is very, very similar to what we just did, but on this string, and that'll be the second half of the scale. The next note after G is A. So based on what I just said, what do you think A is? Yeah. And so the next one is B. What do you think B is? Then C sharp. And move it a little farther towards you. Yeah. And then. Yeah. Perfect. Very good. So, do you think you can do just that part 4 notes each, like we just did with the D, E, F sharp, but A, B, C sharp, D? 1, 2, or hold on. Sorry. I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start on A.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Very good, and just make sure you're on that red line, so move it down a little bit. Perfect. Okay, do you think you can go through the whole scale all the way up with 4 notes each?
Mm-hmm.
So the difficult part is going to be getting from these 3 fingers on this note to getting this open. So can you just do G to A? So G, 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 A, 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 A. So do you remember what G is? Yep, and what's A? Yeah, it's open. So you actually don't need to move these fingers too fast, but if they're not curved right, it's gonna mess up this one. So can you just play that G for me? Yeah? And then A. Yeah, exactly. And did you hear how that A was louder since it's open? Yeah. So we're gonna do 4 notes each, D major scale. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. That was very good. That was very good. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from the top back down. So just doing what you just did, but in reverse. Yeah, get it all positioned. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got a little confused there.
Go 3, 2.
Yeah. So we're gonna try it again. We're getting there. So make sure you don't forget the open string for A. So what you did was D, C sharp, B, and then went to F sharp. Or G. So make sure you get that A, which is the open one. Let's try it again. You're doing really great for your first time. Don't worry about that. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. And again, that hard part is switching from the open A to that part. So very good. So what we're gonna do next is we're going to do it with a bow. Very exciting. So so you can put that on your lap, just like that. Okay. So the bow, as you can see, if you swing it around, these are very loose. And as I said before, the viola is an instrument of tension, so we want tension. So can you tighten the bow for me? And it's righty-tighty. And don't touch the hairs as much as possible. Just hold it down there.
This is the where you tighten it?
Yes, that is the tightening screw, I believe.
Is it? How do you know when you've got it tight enough?
So you see how it's basically tightening, or it's touching this. And you see how curved this is. So keep tightening it, and there should be some separation. Keep going a little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna stop there real quick. So the way I check, if you look, let me show you. So when you place it down on the strings, it shouldn't touch, right? Like when you put a little pressure on it, shouldn't touch. So that is actually very good. Okay, put this back in your lap. So the way you hold it is you're going to take your thumb and kind of position like this. This is the harder part, and you're gonna put it right here. You see that? And then your finger, 2, 3, and your pinky, make sure it's sitting on top here. My pinky doesn't really do that because of flute, but your pinky should be able to. So, so it's kind of holding it like this, and it's a little harder because you don't have the instrument to balance it on. But once you put it on the instrument, you should be able to hold it pretty well, and you should be able to hold it like this and go up like that, and maintain that balance. So we're gonna try that. Try your best to.
Okay.
So your thumb is like this. Thumb bent. and then your pinky is also going to be sitting on top there, and then the rest of the fingers kind of rest there. So most of the balance is between the thumb and the pinky, and you can hold it like that. Does it feel comfortable? And you can push it up and down like a rocket ship. Amazing, good job. Okay, so can you put the viola up to your neck? And can you play just an open A with the bow? Just try your best. See how it sounds. Very good. Okay, so when you play with the bow, you're going to want to play in this area right here on the strings. Yeah. Yeah, it sounded a little high, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to kind of be up to your ears to figure out what the right pressure is, but you want to put the right amount of pressure so it doesn't go up an octave like that. So usually that means you have it, you're playing too light. So can you put a little bit more pressure on it? That's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. And make sure you're keeping it kind of in this area.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
I can't make it.
Yeah. And so what you're doing is you're kind of curving your arm like this. Make sure you keep it straight. So can I show you real quick? Thank you. You see, look at my wrist when I do it. So I'm kind of moving my wrist so that it stays in that straight line instead of kind of going like this. You see how my wrist isn't moving? My arm is? That makes it kind of go like this. Mm-hmm. So can you try it with the wrist motion so that it stays in the right part of the string? You're doing good. So it seems like your viola isn't very, we want it to be more like this. Can you get it like that? Yeah. And that should give you a better angle. Yeah. That's a lot better. And so you want your angle so it doesn't have to be straight down like this. You can move it out. It should be about like that so that you're not touching this second string, but you're only getting that first one. Very, very good. Okay, so can you play arc? And this is called arco when you have the bow. Can you play the D string arco?
Oh.
Very good. Yeah. Remember, it's the motion in the wrist. Yeah, that's a lot better. So, and it's a learning process, so you're doing very good. So eventually you hear how you play a couple notes at the same time sometimes. That's called a double stop. It's very common, don't worry about it. So a lot of the process is learning the right angle to keep your hand at, because it's about angle for which string you play. So just keep that in mind when you're playing, and if you hear a double stop, that is okay. Just try to adjust it in the best you can. If you need to go out of time, that is okay. So can we play just the first 4 notes of the D major scale? Do you remember where those start? Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go D, D, E, E, F sharp, G, G. Yeah. You're on the wrong string there. Your fingers. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, And your tuning was a lot better that time. Your fingers found the right place. So let's try that again, and we're gonna do it in time. I'll give you some slow so you can figure it out. Yeah. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did it again.
Yeah, and make sure you keep your fingers a little farther back down here because the red line. Yeah, there you go. Tuning's important. It's okay that you're not used to it right now. You will develop your ears as you play. So now that you've got that, can you play the last 4 notes of the scale? A, B, C sharp, D. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ugh. Do it again.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, that's okay. So, yeah, you're gonna wanna. So you're doing a very good job. Again, part of learning is keeping it moving steady, but I know it's a lot to focus on at one time, so I promise you are doing a very good job. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna go, well, let's do that one more time just to make sure you have that down. So A, B, C sharp, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, no, that was good. You got those notes out, right? And again, move your hand down a little bit. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's go the same deal, but from D all the way up to D. So D, D, E, E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna try it again. Can you make sure you have a proper bow hand? So again, you're gonna want to have that thumb bent and pinky straight on.
Yep.
So I'll hold it for you so you can figure out your thumb. So like this, and it'll be. I'll move it for you so you can get that right feeling. Thumb and then pinky will be straight on, and then these are resting on top. And make sure you can go up and down, comfortable.
Apparently not. I don't.
So again, it's between, so if your thumb is flat like it is, you're not gonna have that balance, so make sure it's bent and like the tip is kind of touching the bow. So can you bend it more?
Oh, the tip, that part.
Yeah. And again, it's the balance is between the pinky and the thumb. So those other fingers, if you can't lift them, yeah. Okay. So can you play just a note on the viola and see if it feels good? Okay. And now I want you to just go up the D major scale at your own pace. So every time you play a note, I want you to make sure, play it enough times until you think you've got it. So if you play D the first time and you don't hear it, second time it's the wrong thing, play it until you know it's D. Red tape. Do you see the red tape?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you go back down? Yeah, that was very, very good. So I'm going to challenge you this next time through. So it seems like you can do it 2 notes each. You just need a little break in between, which is perfectly fine. But I'm going to challenge you to use more of the bow. So right now you're just kind of going like, but I want you to go like, If you can't, that's okay, but I think you can. You can take your time, make sure you got it right. So, yeah, there you go.
I feel like I've got a good grip.
Okay, that's fine. So let's take it off.
I got it now.
Oh, you got it? Okay. Make sure these fingers on the right string. There you go. Yeah, very good. You got that. That was a lot more movement and it sounded a lot better. So, one last time, we're gonna go up and down the scale very slowly. And because you need a little break to get your fingers adjusted, so what we're gonna go do is D, D, rest. E, E, rest. F sharp, rest. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. Give it your best go, and make sure your fingers are lined up where they should be. I know it's a little dark in this room. You can move them down a little bit more so your pinky's on that red tape. A little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Still have trouble with this.
That's okay. It takes a bit. And just as a reminder, where should the bow be? Yeah, you haven't had any trouble with that, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, and I'll give you
starting at D and going up. Okay.
Up and then down. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 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 Can you try that one again? Rest. 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 Rest.
Go back down again?
Yep. Rest. 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 You're almost there, Rest. Yeah, very good. Good job, Mom.
Sorry, I couldn't do the rest very well.
No, it's okay. You got it. The first half, you had it great.